No, leave him. Leave him. We are not here to start a war.
Give me a second.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody. Someone, please.
Come on.
Please
Come on,
help
we gotta
me.
go.
No, we're not leaving her to the freaks.
What? No.
Skizzo, we are not leaving
This
her.
is not why we are here. Shit. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I got her. Her legs are broken. She ain't going anywhere, bro. We gotta get a move on. Just do it.
Hey, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We gotta cut back this way.
Welcome to the Days Gone Spoilercast. Your boy Lantern is here, joined by Matthew Proctor. We both have played Days Gone through to completion. We both have the platinum, and I think that makes us experts on the game, right?
Yes, it has to. It
It
has
has
to.
I don't know about you, but I've been playing. I've been watching a lot of spoiler casts, and most of the time, people don't even finish the game before even talking about it. And I think this game's getting a little bit of a bad rap. So I thought we would talk about it and give our thoughts about it. You're an avid trophy hunter, which I just found out recently. I looked at your trophy list. You have 70
Yeah.
platinums. That's a
Yeah.
lot. I only have 40, and I considered myself a pretty avid trophy hunter, at least a few years ago. Not so much anymore. But yeah.
Some of them are quite difficult games as well, I have to add.
Yes.
They're not just all easy indie games.
Oh yeah, that's like half of my platinums is like easy indie games.
yeah,
I really have to love a game if it's hard to get that platinum.
yeah. If it's really hard, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get the Dark Souls one. Like I didn't get around to them, but yeah, I think we're pretty experienced with video games, so I think our opinions hold some weight here when talking about Days Gone. People that haven't played the game, it's like everybody that's talking about the game has invested at least like 10 hours into it, and then I think that's enough to talk about it. But me personally, I don't think the game gets good until like the 15-hour mark or the 20-hour mark. Like that first 10 hours is pretty rough. But like it's a game that slowly gets better, even though the payoff at the end is not like the greatest thing ever. I think it's like good enough to push you through the game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't disagree, but I wouldn't agree either. As I played through it, I prefer the slow burn because I'm one of them people that can't just click a finger and love a character. Like I don't know whether I like a TV show until I've watched pretty much the first season. I just don't know because I'm not attached to any of the characters yet or anything like that. So I was glad Days Gone was really long, and I was glad it was a slow burn. That's why it hurt so much that the ending just did not pay off. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing happened. Like literally nothing happened.
Yeah, it really felt like that.
It literally was building. Was it like 30 hours? The story was something crazy, just building. So many insane moments throughout the story, and then the end happened. I was just like, what? It was like someone was jerking you off, and then they just stopped when you were about to finish.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. Yeah, the story kind of just ends right at the end there, which was kind of disappointing. But the journey getting there, I thought was fine. I mean, I don't think it's like a masterpiece at all. I mean, I don't think this is like on the level of God of War or like a Spider-Man. But I think it's
No,
fairly good.
we're in a disagreement.
Why, you don't like God of War and Spider-Man?
I hated God of War. I thought God of War was probably one of the worst games of this generation.
Really? Did you play
I
it?
have,
Did you play
yeah,
it?
yeah, I've got the platinum. I've got the
You got the
platinum God of
platinum?
War. Yeah.
So
I just,
you got
I,
platinum
w-
for a game you hate?
I was a hardcore fan of the first three.
Oh, me
And
too.
this one just felt like they'd completely got rid of like the gore. They completely got rid of like the sexual appeal. And obviously it's not much of a big deal, but there was like nude women in God of War. I mean, you were in Athens. There was a lot of gore in the original ones where you'd get gods and you'd rip their heads off and smash their heads
Yeah.
in, blood would pour everywhere. On this one, it just felt so dull. Like it just every boss battle, I was waiting for the really God of War moment, the Sparta moment,
Yeah.
and I hated Arceus. Oh Jesus Christ, he was so annoying.
Yeah, the kid
Atreus.
was. I agree with you on some of the things about God of War because I was one of those people that didn't like the direction at first when I was first playing it. Because I love the old God of War games. God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension,
Yeah,
Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta. I love all those God of Wars.
yeah, same.
Equally. I don't think like Ascension's as horrible as people say it is. I think it's actually quite good. But God of War 3 is my favorite still out of every God of War game.
I think
Uh,
two's man.
and 2 is really good too. But those are games I also platinumed on my old account before it got banned, which sucks because I tried to start them again. I'm like, I don't want to do this again because those games get kind of hard, especially on the harder difficulties going through some of those stages. But yeah, that's a whole discussion for another podcast. God of War,
Yeah.
it's a whole thing we could do later. But yeah, what do you think about Days Gone though? Like, what kind of game do you think it is? It's definitely not a Last of Us experience, right? It's
I think
definitely not that level of polish.
no, it feels very safe. Like the studio wanted to keep running, and they know if they did something risky with the ending or like Naughty Dog was established. If Last of Us flopped, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, they
It
have
just wouldn't
Uncharted.
have been.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have Uncharted. Like Days Gone, they have nothing. If Days Gone flopped, that'd be the end of them. So they had to. They knew they had to keep going, and people are demanding a Days Gone 2. And the Days Gone ending pretty much leaves open anything. They could do a sequel, prequel. They could
and
do anything.
and Days Gone sold very well too. It's one of the
To
best
my
selling
knowledge,
games
it
this year.
outsold
Yeah.
Horizon. I think it outsold Horizon.
It sold faster than Horizon, I think. Something like that. Some stat like
Yeah,
that.
it didn't beat Spider-Man, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of the best selling PS4 exclusives. It's right up there.
So
So Sony Bend is going to
it,
get another game.
it shows that audiences, game-wise, don't give a shit what critics say. They just don't care.
Yeah, the audience scores for Days Gone are actually surprisingly high. They're like 8s and 9s and stuff like that. So that makes me excited because Sony Bend has been a studio for a long time. They made the original Siphon Filter games, and they made the Golden Abyss on Vita, which I almost platinumed. I was 2 trophies short, and I just didn't feel like going back to it. But that was a solid game. And they made another one for PSP. I think it was a Resistance game. But yeah, this is their first console game since Siphon Filter back on PS1. And I think for like a first, open world, shot, I think they did pretty good. It's not nearly as polished as it should be because it was in development for like 7 years. I mean, I remember the original demo on E3 like, 4 years ago? And it was the scene that's at the end of the game where you're running through this wood factory, and that huge horde is chasing you. That was the original demo for the game, and it's the end of the game. That's pretty much one of the last missions of the game, which is incredible that they kept that in. They never got rid of that. So they were working on the game for 7 years, and it's not nearly as polished as it should be. But then again, it's a 100-person studio. It's not exactly a rock star that has 1,000 people working on a game. So for what they have, I think it's being vastly underrated right now. And I'm happy it's selling good. I'm happy people are playing it and liking it because they definitely deserve another chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you played the game a while ago. I just played it recently, so I have it fresh in my head. Can you remember
So
some of these awesome moments in this game? Like, there's a moment in this game where you're going through the Reaper territory. Those
Yeah,
fuckers.
that's my favorite moment. Yep.
And Schizo and you are trying to help this woman who has broken legs, and the zombies are coming. It's like, we can't help her, and then you smother her to death. I was like, God damn! Like, like they are really trying to hit some emotional moments here. I mean, they try pretty hard, uh, and I gotta commend them for that. I mean, I like that was like one of my favorite moments of the game, and I thought the Schizo turn was like really obvious, but there's a bunch of little moments throughout the game that are just like, wow, I can't believe they thought of that.
Yeah, like the flooding when you flooded the Reapers and you wiped them out
Yeah,
in like one blow. I thought that was brutal. That showed what kind of character Deacon was.
yeah, and I like Deacon. There's a lot of complaints by critics that he was too selfish, and I don't understand that because it felt like he was always doing something for other people.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah. He never was doing anything for himself. I don't think there was ever a moment where he was being selfish. It's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, he pretty much saved everyone.
Yeah,
So how was that being selfish?
I don't know. I get that he's kind of a dick, but then again, it's the world they're in, right? I mean, there's zombies everywhere. You can't be like too nice or you're gonna die, right? So
And he'd lost his wife. Well, he thought
yeah,
he'd lost his wife.
which that
So
seemed pretty. I mean, I was a little bit surprised when you found out she was alive, because I wasn't spoiled on that yet. But I thought she might be dead. But they did kind of make it obvious that she was alive. They never showed her dying. But yeah,
yeah, I was going to say I think I was quite underwhelmed when you at the first meeting. I was kind of like, well, that was kind of building up to it. When they were talking about the officer, the female officer who was like Proctorious, I was like, yeah, well, that's a bit obvious who that is.
yeah, the O'Brien character with the government, the Nero government. You saw that ending because you platinumed the game, right? So you saw that he is
Yeah,
a freaker. He's turning into a freaker. The mutation is evolving, and it's attacking everybody that's left alive. So what does that mean for like Deacon and the survivors? Are they immune? Is that what they're?
no, I think O'Brien was like an intelligent one, wasn't he? He
Yeah,
was a freaker, but he was like he could control it, so he was
yeah.
obvious. Like he must have been a more powerful.
He
He'd,
could
he'd have
talk.
the
Yeah,
effects. Yeah. He had the effects of being infected and the boosts, but he wasn't like a dumb zombie. Well, not zombie, freaker.
yeah. Which it
He was
goes
more
back.
controlled.
Yeah, it goes back to that. The developers kept saying that these aren't zombies; these are freakers. So I was wondering like why they were saying that, but now it's all very apparent. Like the freakers are still people almost. Like they still like have awareness almost. Like there's a scene where you're going through a Nero mission, and one of the agents is talking about how they're still wearing jewelry and stuff, and they're still like acting like their old selves, right? Which I thought was a huge twist for a zombie game. Usually zombies are just dead. They have no thoughts. They have no, nothing's driving them. But the freakers, they're still almost aware of what's happening.
Yeah. And if we're talking about intelligent freakers, it definitely looks like we could get like a sequel where the freakers can carry weapons and they're a bit more violent. Like there might be more stealth scenes where if they see you, they can like call an alarm and come and get you. And do you know what I mean? Instead of just hordes, there might be more advanced hordes where they all have like a mini army. But I don't know how crazy that might be because it might be a bit weird seeing freakers with guns.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where the sequel goes. Because I mean, I like this idea of these hordes and stuff like that. At the end of the game, that's when I started doing the hordes. I don't know about you. I kind of
Yeah,
saved it all
same.
till the end, and it was fun. You were super like overpowered, so it wasn't like too bad to take out these hordes. And I like the gameplay mechanic of them chasing you. And if you go in a circle, like the ones in the back will break off and they'll just go straight to you. I thought that was a cool little touch.
Yeah, the jump walls and the try and outpace you and corner you.
Yeah, they're trying to like cut off your corners and stuff. I didn't think they were dumb at all. A lot of people were complaining that the AI is pretty dumb, but I think that's I think that's just a problem with the actual technical problems with the game. Because I had a few moments where enemies weren't reacting to what I was doing and stuff, but when they seemed pretty smart. I feel like they weren't reacting because there were technical problems with the game. There were bugs and stuff. Nothing that was game breaking though. I didn't have anything like that happen where it just broke the whole game. Did anything like that happen for you?
Yeah, I was driving my bike and I went straight through the floor and I just started falling and then died.
So you had to restart the game.
Yeah, but that was once throughout the entire game. I mean, I've had glitches with Last of Us, so we can't.
Yeah,
It is in a bad thing. It didn't interrupt Last of Us, so it didn't interrupt Days Gone either.
yeah. I didn't experience any problems with The Last of Us like I did with Days Gone. There was
Oh,
problems.
nothing on that level. Nothing
Yeah.
on that level. No.
There's moments in Days Gone where like textures will just not pop in for like minutes on end, like in the second half of the game.
I'm shocked they haven't patched it then. If you've only just played it, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just played, but it's a launch PS4, so I wonder if that's like has something to do with it. I don't have a PS4 Pro, just the launch one.
I have the Pro.
So that might help you if you have a Pro. I mean, but yeah, what do you think about the bike? I liked the bike more than the horse in Red Dead. I don't know about you, but I was liking the bike. You know, I like doing the upgrades. It felt like Mad Max. I know you played that because I saw your platinum.
Yeah, I love Mad Max. That was one of my favorite games.
Love it too. I beat the game. Didn't quite get the platinum, but I did beat it. I thought that game was great. How you used his car, upgrade his car. I feel like the same thing happened in Days Gone with the bike. So I like that detail.
Yeah.
What are the things you did like about the game?
As much as it was great, but at the same time wasn't. It's probably got to be the story. The story is the biggest downfall, which is crazy because
There's lots of good moments in the story, but
it's a 40-hour story, so you should have been completely involved. Whereas there was times in this game, because if this game was my highest, I was more hyped for this than Spider-Man. Purely because the gameplay demo sold me. That was it. Never watched anything else. I was like, that sold me. That looks amazing. But there was times through this game where I turned it off and I just really couldn't be bothered going back to it because it wasn't the game that you can just pick up and you had to put hours into it to enjoy the story.
Yeah, I mean,
and then even then it felt a bit you'd be burnt out because you were doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling a little bit of that grind.
And I didn't like any characters except for Deacon. Deacon and Iron Mike. They were the only two characters I liked.
Yeah, Iron Mike was good. Boozer was all right. I mean, I thought he was a little bit annoying when his arm was like infected.
Yeah,
but Sarah was a little annoying. How she wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Like, really, you've been separated for 2 years. You find out each other's alive. This is like a miracle moment, and you're like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm staying. Like, what? I
hated that little girl. She was so annoying.
Oh, yeah. I didn't understand why she was acting the way she was. Because they don't find a cure either way. Like, the game really ends with nothing being resolved. Like, nothing happens that, fixes the zombie outbreak. It's still happening.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There's no win.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you've lost an army, so isn't that kind of a loss?
Yeah.
Like, fair dues, he was a bad guy, but you've still lost an army, which is pretty. I mean, they were doing good to some extent, weren't they? Like.
I mean, they were burning down everything in bad. They were gonna destroy every other survivor, unless they joined them, right? So I mean, it was like a
win-lose.
It was a win-lose, yeah.
But it ended, and I just sat there and I thought, like, that can't have been the end. And then the credits rolled, and I was going, what? Because I said to my girlfriend, I was saying that was unbelievable. There's no way that is the end. And I was waiting for, and then I heard that about that O'Brien scene, and that, just think how many people have not seen that O'Brien scene.
Yeah, because it's like an
how
extra
many
side
people
mission.
haven't?
Yeah.
I talked to someone about it who's completed it, and I said, "Oh, what did you think of the ending?" "Oh, yeah, it was a bit lackluster, blah blah blah." And I was like, "How good was the O'Brien sequence, though?" And he was like, "What O'Brien sequence?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "So you haven't if you need to go back to it to see the sequence," and he still hasn't. So I had to just tell him what happened, and he was like, "Wow, that is really good." Like, that should have been a forced end sequence. I hate games. Arkham Knight did it. You had to 100% it to bloody get the real ending.
Yeah.
I had to go away, go on YouTube, type in Arkham Knight's real ending, because I couldn't be bothered.
Really? I didn't have much problem getting to 100% on Arkham Knight, because I love that game. I had no problem. I applied on that as well.
Oh, God, I hated that game.
Really?
I loved Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, even Arkham Origins, but Arkham Knight was such a letdown.
So, wow, I felt completely opposite. The car combat was a little much. That's another podcast for another time. We need to do a whole God of War breakdown and Arkham breakdown. Maybe before the Sony press conference in December.
So what about Days Gone soundtrack? Can we both agree that was phenomenal? Yeah. Whoever did Nathan Whitehead is an absolute genius. That end song, not the end one, sorry, the I think it's called Hell or High Water. I can't remember who wrote it, but it's someone else. It's
Yeah.
like an actual song with lyrics and stuff, not a score.
They have a few of them
That
in the
song.
game.
I've got it on Spotify. It's such a beautiful song.
I don't know if you hunt around Iron Mike's camp, but there's a guy that's singing on a guitar, and he has like 10 different songs, and I like some of them are pretty good. Like I'm like they wrote these just for the game. Like a lot of work went into the soundtrack, and making you feel like you're in the world with the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
A lot of good moments with the soundtrack. A lot of Sony games have good soundtracks. I know you don't like God of War, but that soundtrack was boss as well.
Yeah, Spider-Man's was a bit eh.
Yeah, that was
Like,
like average superhero stuff.
yeah, like it was very underwhelming. Like, what Raimi's Spider-Man has one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my entire life. And when I went to see Far From Home and I was listening to the soundtrack, and I was like, this is the most generic music I've ever heard. Who did this soundtrack?
And it turns out it was one of the producers. Yeah, what else can you think about Days Gone?
I do believe with Days Gone, a few more years, a PS5 release, that would have been one of the best games ever made. I definitely think Sony have went, right, you've delayed it, people are angry, you need to release it. And they've went, right, crap, we'll quickly just put it together. And they might have rushed the ending, and that's why we got a bit of an underwhelming ending.
But the
I do
game wasn't
believe
polished at all, though. Like, I mean, that was one of the big
that's what I mean.
problems. Yeah.
It was delayed, but it doesn't seem like it was delayed for polishing. It must have been delayed for story reasons that they
Yeah.
hadn't finished the ending or something.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of these problems would be fixed on PS5. As long as the loading screens would be gone, which would be great. A lot of loading screens in Days Gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe a PS5 remaster like they did with Last of Us.
Yeah, I hope they do that. I mean, it did sell well enough, so I could see them doing that. I was able to get it on sale for like $30 at my local GameStop because there was a sale going on. I think that was a perfect price for the game. I do feel bad for the people that spent $60 on it, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it wasn't as clean, and especially early on. There was a lot of bugs and stuff. So you had to play through all that, and you still beat the game. It's still intriguing enough for you to actually sit down and beat it because it's a lot of hours. We're talking like over 40 hours to get the platinum, at least.
Yeah, I think I ended with about 46 for the platinum.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of roaming because I thought the map was really good.
Yeah, it's a really pretty map. A lot of good landscapes. I thought when the game was working, it looked great. Like there's a lot of good moments, a lot of good scenery. And I felt like they didn't put too much shit on the map. You know what I'm saying? Not too much ridiculous collectibles. There was only like 1 or 2 collectibles, and everywhere you went, there was like some little story or there was something to get you through. Like the Nero checkpoints was like its own little mission, where you had to figure out where the speakers were and take out the speakers, and then you had to turn on the generator. Everything felt like it had its own mechanic, and it wasn't like fruitless. It wasn't like needless. At least a lot of the game. It felt like there was a purpose to some of the stuff.
I think the only side stuff I kind of was getting a bit sick of was the nests.
Yeah, the nests. I'd even do all the nests.
They were so glitchy. They were so buggy. Like when you threw the Molotov and the nest, it was so weird. It brought me out of the game massively.
Maybe they fixed that for my when I played it because I didn't have a whole lot of problems with the hordes. I had one problem when they got stuck on a rock and I just mowed them down. I thought that was a funny one. But yeah, I mean the hordes I left to the end, and I only had to do probably like 10 of them before I had enough XP to finish the game, right? But yeah, I mean the hordes I think just keep popping up on the map, even if you do them all, right? Did you actually do them all?
Yeah. The is random ones, dynamic ones, but the actual horde locations they don't. But there is dynamic ones, yeah, that do walk around and stuff.
Did you ever have a feeling to play the game after you platinumed it? Because the second I platinumed it, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I don't need to play anymore.
Yeah,
it was getting
they've added more trophies to it now, and I'm just like, I have to go back to it, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going back to it. It's one of them games I don't think I'd ever play through again.
Yeah.
It's just too long for not enough payoff.
Yeah.
I can play through Last of Us again. I can play through that again. I'm playing through it again right now, actually. Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. It always soaks me in, and every corner is something exciting. But nah, Days Gone, I couldn't.
That's the thing with Last of Us is I can only play that game once, because it was such an experience, and discovering everything for the first time was such a an awesome experience. I didn't want to tarnish it by playing it over and over and like, getting used to it. Like I might go back to it when we get Last of Us 2 that's, coming out soon. So I might go back to it, play it through again. But like Days Gone, yeah, I wouldn't play it again. It's way too long. But when you finish it, like I felt like, I was satisfied. It was a solid game. I didn't need to, it scratched the itch I was looking for. Because I needed an open world game, and I felt like it really scratched that itch.
Yeah, I just feel like Spider-Man's set such a standard now because Spider-Man is so fast-paced in its open world. You can just pop it in, fly about in its open world for a bit, and it's such a good time. Like, whereas Day Gone's so slow and like you're sluggish, and the bike's sluggish, and whereas Mad Max was very fast-paced. I felt the car was very fast. I mean, you were very fast when you ran, but Days Gone, you just felt slow and luggish.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah. Mad Max is another game where it's like I wouldn't play that through again. That's another long game.
Definitely, definitely no.
But yeah, Days Gone. The controls were a little sluggish. The shooting is not as accurate as you want it to be, but thank God they add that slowdown, or else I would have been fucked. Like, I wouldn't have hit any headshots. But they do add a slowdown thing, so I guess that helps the shooting out a lot. But yeah, there's moments where it feels like Deacon is a little slower than you want him to be. But maybe that adds to the realism. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean that's all I have to say on it. To be honest,
if you were to, put a score on it, what would it be?
Oh, what as in the game itself or the platinum, like the whole package, or just the story?
The whole package, the game. What would you score it out of 10?
I don't know. It's probably got to be a 7. A 7. If I had to be an IGN, like a 7.4 or 5.
That seems about right. It's probably an easy platinum too. I mean, if anyone's looking for a platinum, and you want a long open world game, I think Days Gone's your ticket.
It could have very easily been a 9 or 10. That's what annoys me.
Yeah, there's just the technical problems, the way the story ends. If you fix some of these little things, get rid of some of these loading screens. My God, there's too many. And I feel like, yeah, you could have like a 9 type of game, but yeah, I would say it's like an 8. Like I feel like I enjoyed my time with the game enough to actually go after the platinum, because I'm not like I used to go after a bunch of platinums and stuff. Like I would play Megamind to get the platinum, right? Like I don't do that shit anymore. I don't play games I hate to get platinums. So like I did enjoy myself enough to see it through to the end, to see all the little side missions end and stuff. I look forward to the next Sony Ben game for sure.
Yeah. If it Days Gone 2, I'll be happy. But
I hope it's.
there seems to be a thing with Sony that with studios. Where are the games? Like honestly, I know it only came out. When did it come out? God of War, was it 2017 or was it last year?
What came out?
God of War.
Oh, that's last year. 2018, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
But yeah, where's the announcement for the second one? Like, they don't seem very trustworthy.
No, I think it's going to take like
Ubisoft,
5 years to make that God of War.
yeah, like they don't produce a game straight away. Like Bloodborne, where the hell's Bloodborne 2? It was like the biggest selling game on PlayStation, and they still haven't bothered with a Bloodborne 2. Like, what is wrong with Sony?
Yeah, they're real slow on the trigger.
Like, if I was a games company and I'd just made Bloodborne and it sold that well, and then the producers, like Sony, should, like, if I was the producer, I'd be straight on From Software saying, get us get Bloodborne 2 right now. Like, we want a Bloodborne 2, we want to partner with you again. And I'd do the same with Ben for Days Gone. I'd be like, right, Days Gone 2 into production straight away. And the same with Naughty Dog. Right, I want a Last of Us 2 right now. Well, I know that's one, but, you know what I mean? Or Spider-Man, they better be working on Spider-Man 2 because that game was just phenomenal.
Since we're at the end of the life cycle here on PlayStation, I think they are making those games, and it will be on PS5 for sure.
PS5, yeah.
And can you imagine that launch lineup? If they actually have all these studios making something for launch, it'd be incredible. It'd be hard to not buy a PS5 day one.
It's just my problem with Spider-Man is where can you go? It has to be set in New York. Where else could it be set?
Far from home.
They need the high buildings, otherwise it's just not really Spider-Man.
Yep. I mean, they could expand it. Maybe, you can go across the bridges or something like that. I mean, that would be insane if they made it that big.
It has to be skyscrapers, so unless they did like a futuristic fake city, where they did like a future where London was just nothing but skyscrapers.
Yeah.
It's just hard. They're always going to have to do New York, which limits them massively.
Yeah, I think they could do that though. Futuristic Spider-Man. That's what they did in Edge of Time. That Spider-Man game. Where
Yeah.
he went to the future stuff. They could definitely do something like that.
I want him to have the wingsuit in the next one. And the black suit. He better have both.
But yeah,
I think that's about it for Days Gone. I don't think there's anything else to say really.
yeah, there's nothing to say about that. What other games are you looking forward to this year, though?
This year,
Yeah, this year. What's
just
the next one? The big one you're gonna get?
COD. I haven't been this excited for a COD since Black Ops 1.
Yeah, I was looking at the demo. Like they put up some like 2v2 footage.
Yeah,
Looked
gunfight.
interesting.
Yeah.
Graphics look great. It has Infinity War's name on it. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if it's the same team, but yeah, that looks interesting.
Did you see IGN's video of it?
Yeah, I think it did.
Saying that the game's too realistic and
Yeah,
the feel like they need to calm down and take some of it out.
yeah.
How pathetic. War's too realistic. All right, IGN, Jesus.
Like that's what I want from a Call of Duty.
That's
like,
what you want, realistic. Yeah, you want to feel like you're in the war.
I thought that's what World War II was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna actually see World War II. Like they're gonna do like every battle up until like Berlin or something. But that was quite an underwhelming game, Call of Duty game.
One of the worst.
Yeah, I mean, like that. I really was liking it up until the end, and then it's just like, God damn it! Like they just ended it. Like let's fucking finish the war first. Like God. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the most is probably Death Stranding. I think that's coming out this year.
What more so than Modern Warfare?
Oh yeah, way more. Like way more.
Damn.
I'm way more into like narrative games these days.
Yeah, but Modern Warfare's story looks insane. Like it's meant to be really grounded and set on like.
Yeah, but it's just a remake of the original, isn't it?
No, it's not. Well, it's a complete
reimagining.
reboot.
Was it?
Yeah, like a reimagining. Yeah.
Well, it'll be a new thing, but definitely Death Stranding though. Hideo Kojima. Yeah, I'm definitely playing that shit. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks everybody for joining us. Comment below, let us know what you thought of Days Gone. And we'll be back for another game in the future. Whatever the next game that we both play in, like Platinum or something, we'll talk about. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.